father's expression turned shocked as he exclaimed, "What in the world are you doing?" My response was simple, "You said it." After that incident, my father never tried that approach again. Anyone who has gone no contact with an parent and has no one to talk to or feeling alone, chat with me. I'm your family now. And AMP, LT. 3, and AMP, X200B, and AMP, X200B, update, wow. I didn't think it would blow up the way it has. I am amazed by all of the beautiful feedback, support. If you've cut ties with a difficult parent and are struggling with feelings of isolation, know that you're not alone. Consider reaching out to me. I'm here to offer a listening ear and support. TLDR. I'm here to support anyone who's gone no contact with an parent and needs someone to talk to. TLDR. I'm here to support anyone who's cut ties with a narcissistic parent and needs someone to talk to. TLDR. I'm here to offer a supportive ear to those who have disconnected from a toxic parent. TLDR. If you've broken free from a controlling parent and need someone to talk to, I'm here for you. Fuck Andrew Tate. How can anyone be a fan of this piece of shit? A piece of shit that moved to Romania because it's easier to be a criminal. A piece of shit that believes he has nothing to talk about with women and they are only good for sex. A piece of shit that believes men. The enigmatic Andrew Tate. It's perplexing to see fans rallying behind a figure like Andrew Tate, who seems to embody some of society's darker aspects. His decision to relocate to Romania might be seen as a calculated move to avoid accountability in his personal and professional life. Tate's views on women appear to be rooted in misogyny, suggesting they're solely for his gratification. He also seems to believe in a patriarchal hierarchy, where men hold superiority over women and their bodies are seen as mere possessions. These sentiments are nothing short of disturbing and paint a picture of a deeply problematic individual. The fervent support Tate receives on social media from some users raises questions about their demographics. Are they young, impressionable individuals or perhaps disillusioned, frustrated men searching for validation? Sex on acid. My BF 21 and IF 20 have taken acid together like 5 times now. There was on specific trip where I was the only one off acid and had taken Adderall. This was some of the best sex I ever had, and I've had a lot of good sex with him. It was so euphoric and Jewel. Acidic intimacy. My boyfriend, aged 21, and I, 20, have shared the experience of taking acid together on multiple occasions, approximately 5 times thus far. There was a particular instance where I found myself under the influence of acid, while he was not, and I had also taken Adderall prior to this. This experience ranks among the most exhilarating and romantic moments I've shared with him, and we've had our fair share of passionate encounters. The encounter in question left an indelible mark on me. With my eyes closed, I was transported to a realm of vibrant colors and textures, creating a sensory experience that was nothing short of euphoric. It was a deeply intimate moment, one that allowed me to let my guard down and be completely vulnerable. Time seemed to stand still, and our connection felt almost ethereal. It was a truly special moment, and I wanted to share it with others, if only to capture the essence of that unforgettable encounter. I had 3 meals in one day for the first time in many years. I know based on the title this seems like a bit silly for me to be proud of, but I struggled with anorexia and bulimia for about 3 years, and I haven't been able to have 3 full meals in one day since then. For the first time in years, I was able to enjoy 3 meals in a single day. On the surface, this may seem like a trivial accomplishment, but for me, it's a significant milestone. I spent nearly 3 years grappling with anorexia and bulimia, and as a result, I've struggled to consistently eat 3 full meals in one day. Today was a breakthrough. I successfully consumed 3 meals, and to my relief, my body was able to process them. Edit. I'm overwhelmed by the outpouring of support on this post. Thank you to everyone who took the time to share kind words, send messages, and award this post. I'm truly grateful. Red heart. A funny one for Christmas Eve. I have a funny one for us tonight. My lunatic Mill has been angry with me for years. We are very low contact, but every time we speak she refers cryptically to my Facebook posts. Tonight she told my husband that, since she doesn't know, a festive Christmas Eve surprise, I have a delightful tale to share with you all tonight. My eccentric mother-in-law has harbored a grudge against me for quite some time now. We maintain a minimal connection, but every time we communicate, she makes indirect references to my online social media activities. On this Christmas Eve, she confided in my husband that, since she no longer knows me, she decided to gift me something for the farm animals she spotted on my Facebook posts. As it happens, we do not possess any such animals. It appears she mistakenly befriended someone else who shares my name and has been agitated for years, mistakenly believing I was ignoring her comments and likes. This peculiar incident brought a welcome dash of humor to our evening. Diagnosed with first-stage cancer and BF ghosted me. I went for biopsy 2 weeks back for cervical cancer after MRI showed something. BF told me that he will be there for me no matter what. However, he have been ghosting me instead. Received the news today I have first-stage cervi. A diagnosis of early-stage cervical cancer has left me reeling, compounded by the unsettling absence of my boyfriend recently. I underwent a biopsy to investigate a cervical issue after an MRI revealed a potential problem. During that time, my boyfriend assured me of his unwavering support, claiming he would be by my side through any challenge. But instead, I've been met with deafening silence. His sudden and unexplained absence has left me feeling disconnected. Today, I finally received the test results. Stage 1 cervical cancer. As I grapple with this life-altering news, I've been struggling to reach my boyfriend, whose sudden disappearance has only added to my emotional turmoil. The numbness I felt upon hearing the diagnosis has only intensified, making it difficult for me to process my emotions. As I struggle to come to terms with my diagnosis, I'm torn about whether to confide in others or keep my secret hidden. The burden of keeping this to myself is taking a toll, but I'm desperate to find a way to release the weight of this secret. AITA for distancing myself from my friend because he's a furry? I have nothing against furries, but I think he may have taken it a little too far. He wants me to roleplay with him all the time. My friend has a furry body pillow, a foxtail he wears, and puts furries as his profile. Am I the asshole for setting boundaries with my friend due to his extreme interest in the furry fandom? I'm not opposed to the furry community, but I've noticed my friend has become overly invested in it. He constantly invites me to engage in role-playing activities, which I find uncomfortable. Furthermore, his home decor is filled with furry-themed items, including a large body pillow in the shape of an animal, a foxtail that he frequently wears, and his social media profiles feature furry avatars. It's almost as if he feels compelled to publicly declare his affiliation with the furry fandom. Over time, I've seen a significant change in my friend's behavior, and it pains me to think that the person he was before has become less prominent. It's been nearly 10 months since we last spoke, and I'm starting to realize that I may have distanced myself for the right reasons. Some people may interpret this as an issue of friendship drama, but it's essential to note that the person's behavior is the primary concern. Their actions, in this case, have created a significant divide between the two friends. Update: the original poster's intention is not to shame or ostracize their friend for being part of the furry fandom. Rather, is it legal for my employer to require a 7-day work week, no breaks or vacation? I'm a salaried employee, working from home, living in the Northeast, working for an employer based in AS. The employer is requesting that I work 7 hours to 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days. Can my employer mandate excessive work hours without compromise? As a salaried remote employee residing in the Northeast, I am employed by a company based in Arizona. The employer has recently requested that I dedicate a substantial portion of my life to work, demanding 7 to 10 hours per day, 7 days a week, with no foreseeable breaks or vacation time. This extraordinary requirement raises serious concerns about work-life balance and the extent of my employer's authority. My role primarily involves administrative projects, marketing, and sales tasks. I fear that adhering to this rigid schedule would drastically limit my time with family and severely compromise my personal well-being. I am struggling to come to terms with the fact that my work would essentially become the dominant force in my life. TLDR: salaried employee working remotely in the Northeast for an Arizona-based employer is facing a 7-day workweek demand with no breaks or vacation. Original post: I did it. I broke up with him. It is hard at first, but I know time will heal my hurt. I tried to explain it all to him, but he would not listen. He told me that he will never take my advice unless his mother happens. I've finally made the difficult decision to end things with my boyfriend. It wasn't easy, but I know that time will help me heal from the emotional pain. Unfortunately, our breakup conversation didn't go as smoothly as I had hoped. No matter how hard I tried to make him see things from my perspective, he refused to listen. The final straw came when he let me know that he would only consider my opinions if his mother happened to share the same view. Additionally, he made it clear that he would continue to prioritize spending time with her over me. It became apparent that he wasn't willing to make the necessary changes to our relationship, so I made the bold decision to move on. As the saying goes, it's often easier to walk away from a toxic dynamic than to try and change it. The same can be said for someone who is overly dependent on their mother. I'm choosing not to settle for less than what I deserve in a partner. I'm excited to find someone who truly prioritizes me in our relationship. I read through all of your advice and comments, and decided to really just let very dear husband, DH, handle his parents. I also phoned my JYMOM in case Mill decided to go cry to her, again. DH was an absolute star. My approach to handling in-laws before the baby arrives. Reflecting on your helpful advice and comments, I decided to put my faith in my loving husband, DH, to handle the situation with his parents. To be prepared for any eventuality, I also made contact with my sister, who my mother-in-law, Mill, often turns to when she's unhappy. DH took charge with great aplomb, exhibiting remarkable composure in the face of the impending visit. He skillfully navigated the conversation without getting drawn into unnecessary discussions or debates. Rather than framing his responses as boundaries, he presented the available visit options in a straightforward and matter-of-fact manner. His approach was nothing short of masterful, as his words carried the weight of unshakable truths, devoid of any sense of restriction or limitation. Homophobic InPost customer complains that they don't want their mail delivered in a pride van, so InPost responds by not delivering their mail at all. The statement said the Burke family received a legal letter from Paul Crampsey, operations manager for InPost, on July 26. Disputing postal service. The Burke family encountered a controversy when they received a letter from Paul Crampsey, operations manager for InPost, dated July 26. This correspondence stated that, for a period of 2 weeks, the family would need to collect their mail at a postal depot located nearly 5 miles away from their residence. According to the family's account, the InPost letter also mentioned that a post box would need to be installed at the entrance to their property within a 2-week time frame. If this requirement was not met, the family would be left without postal service. Edit. No additional information available. Update. No updates available. TLDR. InPost customer disputes pride van delivery and responds by withholding mail service. The fact that photos or videos taken of you without your knowledge can go viral online is absolutely terrifying to me. Title. I've seen this happen so many times during my time on the internet, most recently being today, where someone posted a photograph of a random woman. The fear of being captured in a compromising situation online is a constant and unsettling concern for me. I've witnessed numerous instances of people's lives being disrupted by unauthorized photographs or videos being shared widely on the internet, and today's event has left a lasting impression on me. A photograph of an unsuspecting woman was posted on Twitter, prompting the poster to solicit their massive following's opinions on her appearance. Honestly, this is one of my deepest anxieties. The ease with which individuals can capture and disseminate images of complete strangers in public spaces is disconcerting. It's a thought that haunts me whenever I venture out into the world. I often find myself wondering, why can't people simply ask for permission before documenting others? Edit. No edits were made to the original content. Update. This response is a rewritten version of the original text. TLDR. The author expresses concern over the ease with which people can share unauthorized photographs or videos of strangers online, highlighting their fear and discomfort with the situation. My employer sent me home for refusing to table dance. Is this a case of sexual harassment? I'm a bartender, 21F, and I refused to dance on the bar this past weekend. I was working with 2 men as well, who also didn't dance on the bar when we were told to. I was yelled at. An incident at my workplace has left me questioning the legitimacy of the actions taken against me. As a bartender, I was recently instructed to perform a task that made me uncomfortable, dancing on the bar. I declined, as it wasn't a part of my job duties. 2 of my male colleagues were also working that night, but they were not reprimanded for refusing to do the same task. Instead of addressing the issue, management chose to single me out and reprimand me. I was subjected to verbal aggression and ultimately sent home without receiving my tips for the night. My male colleagues, who shared my reluctance to engage in the behavior, were treated differently and faced no consequences. I am left to wonder if this treatment constitutes sexual harassment or a form of gender discrimination. The atmosphere felt oppressive and unfair, and I believe I have the right to work in a space where I'm not pressured into performing tasks that make me uncomfortable. The fact that I was fired for refusing to dance on the bar has only added to my concerns. Edit. I have recently learned that my termination was directly related to my refusal to perform the task, further solidifying my perception of the situation. Update. No update available. TLDR. A bartender was fired after refusing to perform a My Mom Stopped Singing because of me. My mom used to sing a lot. She's not a great singer, but I still like to listen to it. One Christmas we were on a walk, me, my sister and my parents. I was walking ahead with my dad and my mom and my sister behind us, and mom was singing AITA, a single melody silenced by words. There was a time when my mother's voice filled our home with music, even if it wasn't the most polished. I cherished those moments, and despite her limitations, I enjoyed listening to her sing. One Christmas, as our family strolled through the streets, I lagged behind with my father, while my mother and sister followed. My mother broke into a festive tune, and I continued walking, unaware of the conversation unfolding behind me. My father later confided in me that my mother struggled with pitch, that she was tone deaf. As a naive 10-year-old, I didn't think twice about sharing this information with my mother. I'm not even certain what she said or how she reacted, but I recall the pangs of guilt that followed. It's been nearly 15 years since that fateful day, and I still remember the sting of my thoughtless words. Ever since then, my mother's voice has remained silent, and it's a melancholy reminder that can still evoke a deep sadness in me. Neighbors keep parking in front of our gate. This habit of theirs became quite annoying because we had to ask them to move every single time, especially when running late on appointments. They were pretty stubborn though.